You must have heard the term water vapor. Well, familiar with it, right? You must have heard it when you read about water cycle. Well, yes, water vapor changes its state from gaseous to liquid and then comes down as rain. So you know that water vapor comes down to the earth's surface as rain. But is that the only way that water vapor exists on earth in the form of rain? Well, let's see the other forms of water vapor also. Well, fog. Now, have you seen fog in winters? You must have seen. So, fog is actually tiny droplets of water vapor that form near the ground when water vapor in air condenses. Fog is also one form of water vapor. Again, another is mist. Well, tiny droplets of water which remain suspended in air is called mist. Well, what is the difference between fog and mist then? Well, in fog you can see that near the ground, whereas in mist the tiny droplets of water, they remain suspended in air. So this mist is also one of the forms of water vapor. Now, the other is dew. Well, have you ever walked in the morning on grass? Well, it is so very soothing because there are tiny droplets of water on grass. When you walk on it barefooted, you will feel that. Now, this dew is actually nothing but water vapor. So, tiny droplets of water that we often see on grass, leaves, flowers, etc. in winter mornings. So, this kind of tiny droplets of water that you see on grass, leaves, flowers, when you walk on them in winter mornings, you can even see them. Now, even you can see them when you look at the leaves of trees, you will notice that there are tiny droplets of water on them in the morning. So, this dew is also one of the forms of water vapor. Now, when this dew actually gets frozen, it is very, very cold, it becomes frost. So, you can see earlier on this leaf, there were tiny droplets of water. Now, they have frozen, so they have become frost. Now, snow. You already know what is snow. You've been to snow parks, you've been to such places where it snows. Now, this snow is also one of the form of water vapor. Well, water vapor, when frozen into ice, which falls on the ground as light white flakes covering the surface where it falls. Well, you know what is snow? Well, snow is actually not pure ice, but it is white flaky substance that falls on the ground and covers that surface. Now, that is why it looks so beautiful when it snows. So, this snow is also one of the forms of water vapor only. Now, hail. Hail is also one of the forms of water vapor. Now, small hard balls of ice which falls on the ground just like rain. Well, this is not very common in cities nowadays, but sometimes or the other you might have seen them. Like normally you see rain comes on the ground, like rain falls. When rain falls, you can see droplets of water falling on the ground. But instead of those droplets of water, you will actually see hard balls of ice falling on the ground. Now that is called hail. Now, there is also something called sleet that falls on the ground. Now, what is sleet? Well, rain and snow mixed together which fall on the ground is called sleet. Now, in very, very cold countries and very cold places, sleet falls. Now, you have seen a lot of various forms of water vapor. But is actually water vapor useful for us? Is it actually useful for human beings or for our environment? Well, it is obviously useful for water cycle, otherwise water cycle will not take place. But what importance does it have for us? Let's see. Well, it determines the Earth's climatic conditions. Now, this is a very big term. Water vapor actually determines the Earth's climatic conditions. It influences it. How? Well, presence of water vapor in air causes rain. Now, you know that water vapor is very important to bring down rain because a change of state takes place of water vapor from gaseous to liquid and hence rain falls. Now, you are also familiar with different forms of water vapor. So, when there are very low temperatures, water vapor falls on the earth in the form of hail, sleet, snow, etc. Now, water vapor also controls the rate of evaporation from the bodies of plants and animals. So, this is water vapor, that is moisture in the air, that controls the rate of evaporation also. Now water vapor is also essential for the growth of plants. Not only for the growth of plants, it is also necessary for us also, that is human beings also. Now why for plants? You know, while photosynthesis takes place, water vapor is also one of the major constituent that is required for photosynthesis. And for us human beings, water vapor is very necessary because it is the moisture that is present in air around us.